Welcome back to the Forgotten City. We are still making the rounds of our interviews and such. The last time...
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
I was about to say... last time the timeline reset, it was because of this exact situation, and I thought that maybe it was only in the evening. But it seems like it happens if we come over here no matter what. Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
Are you serious? This is an emergency.
Okay, fine.
Are you going to help or not?
I'll try.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
I guess no.
What? Why?
Just trust me.
All right, fine. Come and...
Yeah, we'll just skip that. This is an empty shrine here, right? I assume? Oh. Well, that's one way to... You are dead. Continue from last save. Well, that was unexpected. Interesting. Okay, I guess we learned something. Nobody's supposed to go in that shrine, no matter what. I wonder why. And the other interesting thing is that when you die, it doesn't reset the timeline. It just kills you. So... Okay. Well, that at least gives me a good reason to tell her not to go in there when we sort of encounter this situation in the future. We're not just telling her not to for its own sake. Well, should we go ahead? Let's go ahead and try to confront the guy in the baths one more time, and if he still kills us, then we know not to do that again. Oh, I guess we already talked to her, and we saved afterwards. Is he gonna come out again? Yeah, there he is. Let's see what we can do.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Oh, I saw him worshipping in a small round shrine just outside the city's second building on your left. Or, it doesn't matter what I say, you're gonna kill me anyway. Let's try that one.
You're right, I am. I must be getting a reputation. I suppose I might as well get right to it.
Oh no, I didn't mean for you to do that.
Any last words?
If you fire that arrow, everyone here is going to die.
Well, I'd say that's rather convenient, since I was planning to kill you all anyway.
Fair enough.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay. Well,
Do it! Kill me!
oh no. Okay, I guess I can't execute him by just confronting him, but I guess that makes sense because I don't have a weapon. It would be nice if there was a zip line to get back up top, but I don't think such a thing exists. Uh-oh. Nice shot. There he is. Here we go. So, lesson learned. Maybe don't go to the assassin. Don't visit the assassin. We could use some healing, I think.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost?
What, do I have an arrow sticking out of me?
I don't think. Oh.
Actually wanted to talk to you, yeah.
Of course. What did you want to know?
Can you run for, Actually, we haven't really asked him his story, have we? Now that I've come to think about it.
Well, it's a long one, and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia,
Oh.
Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world.
A Brit.
One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young. It was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle.
Wow.
But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
Yeah, that's tragic for sure. I understand you wanting to protect your family, though.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome, to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was.
Sounds like the situation
Probably
we're in
still
now.
be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Well, things, I guess, worked out relatively speaking.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course.
Yeah, of course.
He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I understand.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Okay. Tell Equidia some people mentioned a memory lapse. Oh, that's a good point. And some people mentioned a stranger. Yeah, there was some just random person who saved everybody. That's very interesting.
Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
Yeah, I can ask, and I can try to avoid her wrath this time.
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
And the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
It's funny you should mention that. What about you running?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it.
Yeah.
But from
It's
what
too
I
bad.
hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win.
Unless we convince
Maybe
him.
that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. If Malleolus runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all. Oh, let's ask about Dooley first.
Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. That's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason. And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
I mean, he plans to have Sentius executed for treason.
You overheard him say that? Oh, why does that not surprise me? He and Sentius have despised each other for a long time now. Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses.
True.
Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether.
Any
If
ideas?
you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
You got a deal. Alright, I think we've got enough info to act on.
All right. See you around.
Alright, let's use the zip line. There we go. We could use a little bit of healing while we're at it. Let's see if we can get some healing while Equitia's in here. Or no, sorry, she's not the one that heals. Actually, but we can tell her about what we've noticed from the commonalities in the interviews.
Arve. A new face. Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Let's cut to the chase. I've been asking some people about how they wound up here, and I'm trying to find a pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
I sure have. Some people mention memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
Some mentioned an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. What else?
And some people mentioned a river.
Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through.
What do you mean?
Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yeah, Karen.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Yep, Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
A hoodie, but the hood wasn't up.
Because I've seen her before.
Oh, what?
There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Yeah. It's not safe in there. An assassin just arrived.
What? How could you know that? And why are you talking to me instead of doing something about it?
I mean, I'm trying.
Please, go and stop him, and come back to me once we're no longer in danger.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but what the heck am I supposed to do? He just kills me every time. Well, okay. Okay. Where are you gonna send me? A whisper. Well, we haven't gone to this area up here, so I say, why don't we... Hello, Rufius. Why don't we just take a look around progressively? This is very nice. That's the same relief as was in the shrine that we entered in on. Let's just take a quick look around. Got a little side passage here. Ooh, can we slip into the baths from back here? Is that a possibility? Hey, look at that. Okay. Maybe we can take him by surprise. Okay, we got the toilets in here. Great. Communal public toilets. These holes must be designed for use with a sponge on a stick. Yeah. A small stick with a sponge attached. This must be what the Romans used instead of toilet paper. It appears to be for communal use. That's gross. Best to put this back immediately. Yeah, dropping it, dropping it. Oh, I can't imagine, like... we've seen that one before. We've seen that one before. Yeah, pretty grody. No, this is not going to allow us to sneak in from this side, at least. What about... Can we jump up on this barrel? Yeah? What about over here? Can we sneak in from this side?
Help!
Oh,
You have to do
she
something.
still finds
A
us.
man, you have...
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Thank...
No, don't do it,
What?
because you'll die. Alright. Is there a way to sneak into the baths? Well, we'll explore that in a bit. There's still so much we haven't seen over here, and we kind of know how the baths situation is going to end, since we don't exactly have any way to stop him at the moment. Yes? What do you want to say? The fountain. A fountain producing... Oops. Fountain producing fresh water, which is coming from the aqueduct behind it. If water can enter the city via aqueducts, perhaps there's also a way to escape through them. Yeah, I had considered that. Is there a way to get up there, though? Like, these kind of look like steps right here. But I don't think that is going to be possible at the moment. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I know. I do see... Whoa! That just looked at me. What the heck? Note from Nivea. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it. Is there somebody in there? Is she trying to get out? That's wild. Alright, let's take a quick look around. Okay, nothing on this side, I don't think. Are there any windows or alternate entrances? Maybe like a handy vine that we could climb up? What about like getting on top of the temple somehow? What are you pointing at? That little ledge back there? I swear these heads are turning and looking at me. They're like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. Oh, he is looking at me. What? Hi there. What can I do for you? Old chest. Well, we got some money to take. That should help. Hopefully we'll get to 1,000 here in not too long. The priestess. Ooh, what about this? Can I not climb down here? This looks like a path. No? Are you sure I can't take this path around the side of the temple? No, I guess not. Alright, well. Ooh, we're on fire. It was worth a try. Okay, let's keep moving on over here, and let's see what... Try to get over there and see what she was pointing at. What the heck? What are you doing with this boulder? It almost looks like it's coming at him? Or he's pushing it? Like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill? Let's check this out, I guess. Alright, what's going on over here? Man, there's so much to explore. I love it. Okay. Can I not get up there? Guess not. Okay, there's a zip line there. Oh, hello. Oh, there's a couple new faces.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
I mean, I guess okay, all things considered.
Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned.
I would love if you did.
Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose.
I mean, everybody pitching in, I guess.
Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before we could depart. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone. I woke up by the river, near that shrine, and stumbled across this place.
Some people mentioned a coin. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me.
Yeah, maybe. Don't you mean the gods? Oh, I'm guessing she's a Christian.
Oh yes, of course. A slip of the tongue,
Okay.
if you like.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, you could look into it, I suppose. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate.
Yeah, already on it.
I hope it works out.
Okay, what about the Golden Rule?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin?
I don't know. People are fundamentally good, or I mean, there are a lot of kind of not so great people, it seems, in this area.
If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here. Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention.
Yeah, there's going to be some intervention by me.
I wish I shared your faith.
I have faith in myself. You're a Christian, yeah. This we know, and some of the stuff that she was saying, like those little, I guess, proverbs, definitely sound a lot like Bible verses.
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible.
Yeah, I won't tell anyone.
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right,
Good talk.
It was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing?
Oh no.
Don't jump.
No.
Can we go
No,
talk
no,
to
no,
him?
No, no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Oh no.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do.
Figure out
I've
how to
never had
stop
to
him
deal with
from
this sort
killing
of
himself.
thing.
Yeah,
Please, you need to talk to him.
I'm on it. Do you really think his suicide would break the golden rule?
I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bondsman isn't far off.
Okay, yeah, let's talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Okay. Good bluff. Ulpius, no, let's not do that. Let's just start out with the more measured approach.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime
No,
against the Empire?
no, nothing like that. No, I think you have the right to die if you're suffering bad enough. I was just gonna ask you what's wrong. Yeah.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out. Wherever you are.
Oh no.
Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Ulpius,
Wait.
no!
What about Scintilla? Oh no. Ask Ulpius how Scintilla would feel about his suicide.
I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
His suicide didn't break the golden rule. What does that mean?
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Did I do something wrong?
That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
And now what?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Poor guy. Alright, well... It says jump. I urinated into Malleolus's villa from above and got away with it. Follow him? Into the water? I mean... Okay. I feel like the voice is looking out for us. Let's try to aim for the water, I guess. So here we go. Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you. I am.
Can I pick this up?
Deeply honored to have been
The locked villa.
elected your magistrate. Yes.
Ooh, let's sneak around. Well, we found our way in. That's a positive. Painted Greek vase depicting some kind of battle. Very nice. Let's see if we can sneak around and find anything useful before we confront him. Note from Ulpius. Oh, that's topical. Ulpius to his lost love. May God watch over you. Please know I help. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you, my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gan Eden. Am I reading that right? Gan Eden. I don't know what that means. Is it like the Garden of Eden? Wow. Okay. Note from Yulia. A suicide note, presumably directed at Malleolus. Yulia to her captors Malleolus and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll be already dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all of eternity. Well, that's interesting. So we know that Yulia was a suicide. Produce bowl. Another stove. These kitchens all kind of look the same. Seeing if there's any differences over here. Doesn't appear so. Here's the study. But it doesn't look like there's much here for us to pick up. Should we go upstairs? Uh-oh. There's somebody in there. I think they're stuck. Okay, we'll see if we can find a key. Okay, this just makes a full circle. Alright, so we need to get the key from Malleolus to, Oh, that's locked as well. Alright, well, let's go talk to the guy, I guess.
Yes, thank you. I'm delighted and deeply...
Hello.
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressive.
One green eye, one blue eye. Look at that.
Why have you risked life and limb to see me?
There's an assassin after you, buddy. Malleolus is Quinctius, I guess.
I'm Malleolus. And if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
And what platform are you running on?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising.
Which means what?
These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
Yeah, can you be more specific?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule.
Oh, great.
It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
I mean, why are you convinced otherwise?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real?
I mean, no. I mean, I've seen it happen, but I can't prove it to you.
Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
I'm reliving the same day over and over again. Or what would it take to prove to you it's real? Or even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. Yeah, let's ask him, what would it take to prove?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read.
Oh, well.
As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
That is a good point. Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good thing?
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
I'm reliving the same day over and over. The Golden Rule is broken each time.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
What if I could tell you exactly what you're about to say?
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Okay. And how are you? I guess you don't want to leave, do you?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
Okay. And I guess you think the Golden Rule is fake, right?
You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
Mm-hmm. What would it take for you to withdraw?
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands?
Yeah, something like that.
Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Because as soon as you win, you're going to break the Golden Rule.
Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the Golden Rule.
You're going to arrest Sentius for treason and sentence him to death by gladiatorial combat.
How could you possibly know that?
Oh, I know things. Because I know the future. Domitius told me I know all your secrets. I guess we'll start with the top one.
Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow.
Are you about to have me killed?
And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Domitius kill him even more. Now, get out of here! You outstayed your very limited welcome.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep walking around if you don't mind. Just a lounging chair. Huh. So, on the bright side, we know that he is the exactly person...
Here?
Yeah, I'm going. He is the person that the assassin has been looking for. And I wonder if we can leverage that knowledge to our advantage. Right, well, can you direct me how to get out of here? Because I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, where the front door is. Oh, there, is that it? Well, it's locked, isn't it? I assume this is the front door. Yeah, how the heck do I get out of here? Is there anywhere I can walk, like, on the cliffs, maybe? Is this like an alternate path? Maybe this is nothing. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was nothing. Okay. Maybe I should have saved before I did that. We'll see how far back it takes us. So there's a couple things we have to do. Kind of in chain reaction. We have to persuade him from withdrawing, and I guess we can maybe leverage the assassin to persuade him to withdraw. We need to get Galerius to run for the election, and doing both of those things will allow Equidia and I to go into the baths and for her to show me whatever it is that she thinks is so important in there. Not to mention the other sort of possible escape routes, like checking out the aqueduct, going out to the upper cistern.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been...
Okay, well, let's try the speech, or try a different tack with him, and we can skip through some of the dialogue. Alright. So let's do that. We'll get through here. It's definitely real. We'll just sort of go... I'm not sure how important it is for us to fulfill this dialogue, but we'll make sure that we talk about everything. We'll do that. Yeah, what if we said Domitius told us? Let's just try this.
Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about...
No, he didn't believe me.
Now...
Okay, fair enough. We'll save this time. Alright, that was relatively painless. But for real, how do we get out of here? Can we get out onto the roof? I'm a little confused. I don't even see where... I don't even see where... Let's see if we can get a key from him.
Out of my...
Okay. Well, if you had him throw me out, then that would at least show me how to get out. Oh, well, here's this. Can I get over the edge? Please? There we go. That works. What is this area? Where exactly did we end up? If we can find someone's bedroom, it'll tell us who this belongs to. Ink jar. Oh, we're back. Wait, what? Oh, we're back here. I don't know how that happened. Now, what is this area?
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I mean, I was. Can I not?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh. Why do I have to do everything?
Is he Hannibal the Cannibal?
So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, A few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
Wow. Wouldn't that have broken the golden rule?
If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man.
Fair enough.
More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which.
And then what?
What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
I think we should still check it out.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Yeah. We may die. That's very possible. But, I think it's worthwhile at least just to check it out. And then know what we're up against. And we do have a flashlight. It's interesting he mentioned that Hannibal was a Carthaginian, so Carthage was one of the major rival cities to Rome for a while. And eventually, it you know how the phrase, this town ain't big enough for the two of us, kind of got to that point. And so Carthage and Rome got into a series of wars called the Punic Wars. Most famous of them probably being... Uh-oh, there it is. Being the second Oh no! Oh gosh! Oh, that scared the heck out of me. Oh, peeled statue. What? Holy crap. I nearly jumped out of my skin right there. Okay, well we know that the stories are real. Gosh. I literally jumped like 6 inches in my chair. But anyway, just to wrap up the Punic Wars, so they got into a fight. Hannibal, the leader of the Carthaginians, or their main general, ended up trying to invade Rome, and he did that by taking elephants over the Alps, so invading from the north, and he got pretty damn close to winning the whole thing. Eventually, it was the quick thinking of one of the Roman generals called Scipio, who said, hey, maybe we should take the fight to Carthage, and that eventually was enough impetus to get the Carthaginians to call Hannibal home, and he ended up losing. But Hannibal apparently is a fairly common name for the Carthaginians. It's just kind of like calling somebody, you know, John Smith or whatever, so it makes sense. Alright, hi there. Let's see if we can have any additional dialogue with her.
What are you doing in here? She needs the resin of a...
Yeah, sorry.
It's too...
She was, and I...
Alright, never mind. I guess there's no new dialogue here.
Well,
She just needs that medicine.
Well, come.
Alright. Let's... I'm curious, what if we go to the baths and tell the assassin about... what's his name? About, Malleolus. Would that be possible? I could try to steal it, but I feel like that's going to end badly for me. There's Decius. He's looking straight at me. He knows I'm going to steal it. Why don't we just try it? Oh, hello. Oh, hang on.
But why? You know why. But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Like me. What if I can get him to make me a weapon? Wait, oh no, your face is hidden.
Ah, a new face. You arrived on the set day, friend.
Yeah, I know. Oh, never mind. I guess
Nice to talk to you.
I guess he can't necessarily just make us a weapon. Alright. Who was that Galerius in here with Dooley?
How are you doing today?
Let's listen in.
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon,
Poor guy.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river.
That's what I was
Your
thinking.
Spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
If I die and go to Tartarus, because they say I've been
Oh
bad.
man, poor
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
poor fella.
Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, alright?
Alright, Galerius. See you then.
What a good guy. That's what I feel like that's what's happening here. I did not do it, Dooley. But yeah, what if we're in the underworld right now and like this is, you know, essentially the way for people to kind of atone for what they've done or be judged, because they mentioned a coin, they mentioned a river, they mentioned a stranger who's maybe like, oh my god, you guys, I just figured it out. Should I spoil it? I think I know. I think I know. I don't know if I should say it or not. Okay, hang on. Possible spoilers for what's going on. If you don't want me to spoil what I think is going on, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, then skip ahead for like 30 seconds. Okay, spoilers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, the lady's name was Karen, right? But the name of the boatman for the underworld is also Karen, but it's spelled C-H-A-R-O-N. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's happening here, is that she is conducting people to the next life. She's the boatman. Karen traditionally is a guy, but doesn't necessarily have to be, right? So, anyway, that's what I think is going on. It's too close to be a coincidence, like the river, the coin, which you would offer as like a sacrifice for a loved one. Okay, so spoiler time over, but yeah, I think that's what's going on. Alright, let's check this out. This is the theater that they were talking about. And they said that there was a secret passage or something behind it. Let's check inside first. Alright, anything behind here maybe? I feel like there's a breeze. Maybe not. An old scroll. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Dorotas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration. But here I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching, and deserving of our contempt. Who among us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the golden rule? All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under, is, I believe, merely a deception, and I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one," is evidence that the Golden Rule is very real. But that is logically unsound, for we cannot assume the writers knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true, any more than if I were to inscribe Dorotas the Younger as a god. That's a really good point. That's kind of the argument Malleolus was saying, that just because you write it down doesn't make it true. Yeah. Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the Golden Rule is real. You need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a handcart, and placed them in niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them. And yet, I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. Why should we take a different view here? The background behind that myth is that there was a sculptor named Pygmalion who made a statue that was so realistic and so beautiful that he fell in love with it, and so he beseeched Venus to bring her to life, and so she indeed did. That's a funny side note. That's where the Broadway musical My Fair Lady comes from. It was originally based on a story called Pygmalion, which is, this myth here. It's kind of like the, if anyone has seen My Fair Lady, it's like the British linguist Henry Higgins adopts sort of a young street girl named Eliza and tries to pass her off as an aristocrat by teaching her to speak well. So, anyway, long story short, let's read the next argument. But ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there was only one way for me to prove that the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us see, once and for all, if the Golden Rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. And so is that the person who we see here in front of us? Let's take this. It's very, very cool how they laid out his argument just like kind of a classical Greek philosophical structure, because usually one of the ways that philosophers will often try to prove an argument is by disproving the contrary. That's one of the ways that, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates would argue. And so I think that was written in a very similarly convincing manner. Okay, so let's take a break. Next time when we come back, there's apparently like a secret shrine somewhere behind the theater, which we read about earlier. We're going to go check that out. We're going to investigate and just sort of try to get as far as we can in the extremities of the city and maybe visit a few other places that we haven't before. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying some of the inputs that I have based on my background on Roman mythology and culture and civilization and so forth. But let me know what you're thinking, and I always like hearing from you guys. And with that, let's take a rest until we meet again next time. Farewell.